L402. It's a protocol for machine-to-machine payments, or for agents to go out and purchase resources or access tokens to APIs online. And if this sounds familiar, you might have heard of it before, or other similar protocols such as X402 or MPP, the Machine Payments Protocol. But in this video, we're talking about L402s. So let's do a quick history lesson. The HTTP error code 402, payment required, was originally created back in the mid-90s and held for future use. Then, years later, in 2020, Lightning Labs created the L402 protocol. And this protocol made use of this long dormant HTTP error code. Personally, I think how this works is quite beautiful, and while L402 is token agnostic, macaroons are recommended, and I personally find macaroons to be quite elegant. But I'd like to describe for you the process of how this works, and I'd like you to note the lack of intermediaries and how quick and simple this process is, right? There's an agent, there's a service, and there's Bitcoin's Lightning Network and nothing else, right? So a bot shows up to an API and pings an endpoint, and it could be an API or any kind of service, but it pings an endpoint, and that service responds with the HTTP 402 error code and says, hey, you got to pay for that endpoint. And it also hands over a bearer token, in this case, a macaroon. And so it hands over the macaroon and with it, a Lightning invoice to be paid. That agent then goes out and uses Bitcoin's Lightning Network to pay that invoice, and it gets back a pre-image, just sort of a receipt of payment. Then it takes that macaroon and pairs it together with that pre-image to create an L402. It then returns that API endpoint, hands over its L402, and voila, it is granted access to that endpoint.